Kaboom Test Labs presents another issue number 6, Nerds with Issues, NWI, with your hosts Doughboy and
Admiral Duke at your service.
Next to Mr. Admiral Duke, we have
B-wok.
B-Wizzle. I think we got to do that like every time he says his name. It's just going to be a thing because I've noticed every show he does his name and we say some weird, funny stuff. Another week and another good news week for nerds out there.
Goodness.
Seriously.
It's another good
ends.
comic book week for nerds. Nerds are ruling the world.
Heck yeah.
Pretty much.
Heck yeah.
The geek
So-
shall inherit the earth, as it said.
Did everybody have a good week, by the way?
Much better than last week.
You? Doing all right? Missing Kev? Yeah. Big shout out to Kevin Alvarado. He is he's
K-Fed out in Australia.
yeah, dude, drinking Fosters. Throw another shrimp on the barbie, mate. You know, that didn't sound anything Australian. Don't let your friends out there hear this. A lot of good stuff, though. Here we go. Let's get into it. First, I saw Die Hard yesterday.
Yes.
A good
A
day
good day to die
Wait,
hard.
can I ask you, was Valentine's Day a good day to die hard for you?
It was. And here's the cool thing. There were a lot of people in the theater, but I will say this is the best theater experience I ever had in Albuquerque.
Really?
Everybody was they were all about my age. And all so excited that they were seeing a Die Hard movie in the theater again.
So
Because
was it-
I started to feel that way. So I went, I watched it. It was really, really cool. And then, like, right before the movie starts, though, I'm like, oh, my God. 26 years later, after seeing
Right.
the first one, I am seeing Die Hard number 5
You do know-
or number 4 if you pretend that the other one didn't happen like I did.
can't believe
Did you know that at the premiere they actually did a marathon of every film?
Yes, and I couldn't be there. I was so upset, and it's because I had to work. I wanted to watch all those. I probably would have been, I would have went and shampooed my hair or something during the fourth one, but whatever.
I can't believe you're bagging on
Yeah,
it
2
that
words,
badly.
dude. Justin Long. What's that guy been doing?
Oh, come on.
He sucked.
It
might as
wasn't
well have
that
been Shia LaBeouf.
Are you...
He kissed Blake
Oh,
Lively and
goodness.
accepted. That gives him
First of
something.
all, I'll tell you right now, and here's how I win the argument. PG-13, a Die Hard movie that's PG-13. Who does that? Who does that? I'll tell you who does that. Satan does that. Satan. Okay? But the bottom line is,
Not
if
that
you
bad.
don't have John McClane saying the F word every other word, it doesn't work as a movie for me. It's why I loved Die Hard as a kid. Like, whoa, he said that.
Okay, well, here's all I'm going to say about that.
Uh-huh.
Die Hard 4 or Indiana Jones 4? I win. Thank you.
No, they were both produced by Satan. I won't get into too much. I'll tell you. First of all, I'll tell you who's not in the movie. Patrick Stewart is not in the movie. That was a rumor.
That was a huge rumor,
and it was a
yeah.
rumor that I
Enormous
think that
rumor.
the studio actually put out there because it was even on IMDb as rumored. Now, the IMDb normally only puts that on there if that's actually going down. So
true.
I think that's BS. But that was the only weak thing I can say about this movie was the bad guy. And I know that the Die Hard movies have always been notorious for having really great bad guys. But I will say this: John McClane is doing his thing again. His son was all right too. He is basically almost a spitting image of Bruce Willis. But basically, what happens? The plot line is
It wasn't Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
no. Oh God, CGI'd Bruce Willis face. No, and he was okay. The guy that played, I don't know the guy's name, but bottom line is
from
John
Spartacus?
McClane is worried about his son and finds out that he's in some trouble in Russia and a court case is happening for a murder thing.
Making this
and-
the first Die Hard film to be set outside of the United States.
Oh, that's
yes.
true.
And basically, he goes to Russia and gets to the courthouse as the trial's about to happen, and all hell breaks loose. And then it goes from there. And it's a good father-son action flick, but it's him back to his normal. He must have said 3 times in the film, "I'm on effing vacation." 2 reasons why that's great. He said the F word, and the second thing is that's such an 80s line to say in a cop movie, in a buddy cop movie. So it was a lot of fun, absolutely. 2 thumbs up for me. Seriously, I had a lot of fun with it. Go check it out.
Absolutely.
Now, I also want to talk about one more thing before we get into our picks of the week. The previews are always my favorite. I get there
yeah.
early to watch previews.
Oh, yeah.
The G.I. Joe preview looked really, really cool.
Really?
Bruce Willis as well.
Bruce
playing
Willis.
Mr. G.I. Joe.
So you were glad to see more of Magic Mike?
He's going to be awesome in it. Dude, if he's anything like he was in 21 Jump Street, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm
21
I'm
Jump
in.
Street was one of my favorite films of the last year.
But
What
it
is
looked
his
really
name?
cool.
What is
Channing Tatum.
Channing Tatum, yeah.
By the way, my mom told me the other day she went with friends to see Magic Mike when it was out.
Yeah.
It freaked me the hell out. My mom's like 60. What the F
Hey,
are you
all I
doing?
gotta say is
Don't
film-
start backing up Magic Mike.
I'm not backing up Magic Mike. However, when we went to go
That
watch
sounded so bad. I'm not backing up Magic Mike.
No, this
However,
is funny.
whenever we went to go watch The Amazing Spider-Man, the early preview of it, it just we got there a few hours early, waiting in line. Just so happened where
Same
we
weekend.
were at in the spot, me dressed up as Spider-Man, happened to be the entrance for the Magic Mike film, which happened to just be good luck for me.
Why is that good luck?
Because girls are stopping by going, "Hey, can I get a picture of Spider-Man?" And I'm going, "Only if we do the upside down kiss."
Oh.
And they're like, "I have a boyfriend." And I'm like, "I do too." No one has to know.
Wait,
about it.
what? Oh, it's just went too far. But anyways, the
one's
previews,
gotta
the
know.
G.I. Joe preview was awesome.
Right.
But I want to talk about it really quick. Preview for a movie called The Heat, starring Sandra Bullock.
Oh, that's right.
And Megan McCarthy, I believe her name is.
Melissa
McCarthy.
Yeah, yeah.
Melissa McCarthy, sorry.
yeah. From Bridesmaids and
Yes.
Gilmore
Oh
Girls,
my
if you happen to know
God.
that.
I'm hoping it's not
I
one
know
of
that
those.
you would know that.
Well, I'm hoping it's not one of those movies that's only funny from the preview because I laughed through the whole thing. It is ridiculous. It's a buddy cop film with
Right.
those two. Melissa McCarthy basically plays the bad, tough girl, crazy
Bad
cop,
cop.
and Sandra Bullock is trying to learn how to loosen up by being her partner. Dude, go check out the trailer on YouTube.
Dude, this
it's
is
worth
so
it.
It looks
funny.
decent.
This is so funny because I always seem to have the opposite reaction.
You didn't laugh
from
at that
no,
preview?
I did laugh, but the moment I saw it, I'm like, what is this, Miss Congeniality 3?
No, it's nothing like
No,
that. She
but
was
dude,
an undercover, stuck-up
just-
woman. This
yeah.
this has a comedy aspect. That's Benjamin Bratt and Sandra Bullock. There's nothing funny about that.
I'm just
The one
saying.
part that
I'm
didn't
not-
Also,
I'm not
you're a
intrigued.
chauvinist, and it's an all-female film.
I'm not intrigued. It doesn't even look funny. I'll see it on video when my wife forces me to watch.
The only part that did
And
you
on
go.
part
cue.
that did make me laugh was when they cheers and Sandra Bullock breaks her mug. That was pretty.
Really, that was the only part that made you laugh?
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are assholes. I thought it looked funny and it was good. I don't know. Ignore the guy that loved Magic Mike and then the guy that hates women. I don't think that's true. That's so slanderous.
Yeah, I hate women. Yeah, believe me. There's never mind.
Oh yeah, we've only got a small amount of time for the show, so it's time to get into picks of the week. And just really quick, I'll let you guys get to your books. I just want to say I finally got into the Miles Morales Ultimate Spider-Man and read volume 1, 2, and 3 in one night and absolutely loved it. It's amazing. If you're not reading this book, forget what anybody has told you about it. Just read it. It's phenomenal and by far the best Spider-Man book in a very long time.
Yes.
And I will have no need to read any Spider-Man title right now besides Ultimate.
Well, I was going to say it is definitely the best Spider-Man title that is out right now.
Hands
Which
down.
is a disgustingly sad thing.
It's
to
very
say.
sad to say, and hopefully, Stan Lee is not somewhere, just throwing darts at Dan Slott's face. But I will just tell you this: I haven't read such a cool storyline since maybe I very first started reading Spider-Man back in the mid '90s. Honestly, it's that good.
Well,
Absolutely.
I finally broke down and read all of Superior Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3, and I came away thinking one thing: these characters have never looked this stupid.
Agreed.
I mean, never. I mean, whether it's MJ, whether it's Aunt May, or whether it's
Carly Cooper.
All of a sudden, all these women are stupid where they never were before, and they don't catch what's going on, and it's taken them 3 issues to figure this out. Just kind of lame.
Typical Dan Slott writing where nothing seems to add up.
It's terrible.
Mean, as always, Ryan Stegman's art is beautiful. I mean, if nothing
The
else,
art's great.
Yeah, but I mean, it's insanely well drawn, poorly written crap, as you can expect, I suppose.
Terribly convoluted.
It's horrible. Good news on Superior Spider-Man. It's only lasted 9 issues.
The inferior Spider-Man.
It'll
Inferior
only last
Spider-Man
9
no more.
issues. And my theory is I think that Marvel's going to cash in and go, cool, everyone's going to buy number 9, and then they're going to buy the reemergence of Amazing starting over with number 1.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I mean, Uncanny X-Men, which just appeared this week, is proof that Marvel's absolutely willing to relaunch everything.
Yep. I agree, and I think that's going to be a big deal going forward. But I just want to say, if you're not reading Ultimate Spider-Man, get it.
Hands down.
The trade volumes, I'm pretty sure we have them over there at Kaboom West.
Yes, sir.
If not, go on in, talk to somebody. We'll get it ordered for you. It is worth every time. It's amazing. You're going to love it.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that issues 19 and 20 are are instant classics.
Okay.
Yes, with the cover of issue 23 that will be coming up shortly as the iconic Spider-Man No More costume in the trash can. And if you've read 20, you know kind of where that's coming from. But these guys are absolutely right. It's just the Spider-Man book.
Fantastic.
So that's going to just be my pick of the week. Duke, tell me, what do you got?
Well, I feel like I'm treading old ground here, but the fact of the matter is my pick of the week is Dark Horse's Star Wars #2, Brian Wood, Alex Ross. It's really absolutely ridiculous what they are doing with this brand new Star Wars book. I want to point out that, and I didn't say this before, but I went back and reread issue 1 before I read issue 2, and I forgot that Princess Leia does something cold, freaking blooded in the first one, and
Really?
it's just simply that Brian Wood is exploring where these characters can go, and I'm loving it.
I like that.
And some very popular bounty hunters show up in issue 2.
I can't
it's
imagine.
really fantastic. But what I want to, it starts with a B, but it's not the B you think it is.
Oh.
But anyway,
B-wok?
it's not. It's not B-wok. Actually, what I do want to say has nothing to do with the story per se. But what I can tell you is I have gone to a few different comic book retailers this week since the book came out. Nobody has it. Nobody has it.
I haven't read the first or the second. yet.
Kaboom doesn't have it. A very large chain retailer doesn't have it. All the smaller places, no one has this book. So you're going to have to find it online or digital download on Comixology, which I absolutely recommend. Comixology has saved my butt this week on a couple different things. And
there's such a great source for news, too. Well, through Twitter and whatnot.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And one thing I'll say, I used to give Comixology a lot of crap, but they've kind of redeemed themselves, and they're really chugging along. I like Comixology. They're the only comic book source for the Amazon Kindle Fire. Unless you're like me and you know how to get the APK file for the Marvel comics app, and you're kind of a ninja like that.
So this book must be really good. That's 2 weeks in a row. That's been your pick of the week.
Absolutely.
Are there so basically? Can you just give us a quick idea of what the storyline is as far as where this book starts out?
Issue 1 starts out immediately after Episode 4, or Star Wars: A New Hope, or if you're like me, Star Wars, the first movie.
Okay.
It begins immediately after the Battle of Yavin. We're probably talking a matter of months.
Okay.
And Leia, Luke, and Wedge are looking for a new base for the Rebel fleet. But there's something about the story that you just don't ever think about. The Rebel Alliance is broke. They don't have any money. They're basically borrowing money from Han Solo, of all people.
Scoundrel.
and which
Who
is
are you calling scruffy looking?
there's some amazing character development in here, and you just get a better feel for these characters, and it has a lot to do with the fact that we haven't talked about these characters in years.
Oh, God, it's so exciting.
And it's absolutely exciting, and you and I are thinking the same thing, and we will talk about that later in the show.
Okay, so basically right now, Dark Horse, Star Wars, issue 1 and 2, they are out. Go to Amazon, go to eBay, get them.
Absolutely.
eBay, I got my money back, so I can just reorder, and I won't order. God, I wish I knew the seller's name so I could call him out. But, real douchey. Mr. B-wok, before we get into everything else, give us your pick of the week.
I think my pick of the week is going to have to be Batman #17, the conclusion of the Death of the Family story
I
arc
knew I should have went and picked
by
it.
Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo.
Yeah.
I feel like some people are going to be scratching their heads on this one because I feel like this is an issue that's getting a lot of controversy because I don't think it went the way that people were expecting. And what I mean by that is if you've read 16, you know there's a silver platter, you know something's underneath it, and I don't think the emphasis was meant to be on that. I mean, they set it up that way, but I just need to say this issue doesn't end the way you think it would. However,
But overall, was it a good issue?
I think so. I think the final page really leaves you with a grand sense of it reminds me of The Killing Joke in the way that this final issue really gives you an amazing insight to the relationship that Batman and Joker share, that a perspective you've never really seen before. And with that said, I think this will be a story that will sit on the shelves with Killing Joke and other Joker classics because it's great. Like I said, it's not necessarily what you it's kind of a left turn at last second, but not a bad one at all. It's just it's great.
All right.
Well, and the way you explained it to me makes me feel like an idiot for deciding to wait until it came out in trade paperback, because now I can't find half those issues anymore. And right now, Batman 17 is like paper gold. It's just like Star Wars #2, where you can't find it anywhere.
Yeah,
as long as I
it's a
can find
great
it in
cover.
my
If you haven't
box,
seen that cover,
great cover.
It's of course Joker face all scalped off, but strapped back on. Him in a tuxedo, doing an elegant ballroom dance with Batman's bloody cape and cowl. It's awesome.
Sir.
I can't
Great
wait.
cover.
Well, I also can't wait till we get to meet
This
Greg
whole
Capullo.
series has had great covers.
Oh yeah,
Greg
absolutely.
Capullo, man, and we're going to be meeting him at Phoenix Comic Con.
Yes, and we'll be meeting you at Phoenix Comic Con if you're there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Head out. Jeez, it's going to be awesome.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
the lineup is amazing. The lineup is amazing. If you haven't checked it out, go look at it online. That brings us to a quick question. It's something we talked about before in the shop. Favorite Joker of all time? Movie, television, whatever wise.
Just Joker.
Just your favorite Joker. Me, I will say simply, and it's for you know how I am with nostalgia. You know, it's my thing. It's all. There have been some great Jokers, but for me, it's always going to be Jack Nicholson.
Oh man,
and it's just because, dude, have you ever danced with the devil in the pale moonlight?
I'm glad you did.
I'm glad you did.
I'm just telling you, he was awesome.
He was. He was perfect for
demented
for what Tim Burton had imagined for those characters.
Yes,
he was absolutely perfect. He executed it in an amazing way, and it made you absolutely disgusted. Spoiler alert: disgusted at the end that the Joker was dead.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Batman 1 and he just spoiled it, that's your own damn fault.
I was gonna say
that movie's from 1989.
The movie's 24 years old. If you haven't seen it, that's not my fault.
It was just so much fun to see. And for me, I was, 89, I was 11.
Yeah.
And I just remember 3 different times that summer, my mom dropping me and my best friend off at the theater. And those were the days where you could sit in the theater till the next run of it came on. And nobody said anything to you, especially if you were a kid during the summertime. If you were sitting there buying snacks, they didn't care.
That's true.
And one of the days we watched it 3 times in a row. It was just, it was everything. And at the time, Kim Basinger was the hottest. But
absolutely,
Jack Nicholson, just the way he played it. This town needs an enema. It's like, how many classic lines.
Where does he get those wonderful toys?
It's a great homage to Golden Age Joker. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
So Duke, if you had to pick a Joker, what would you say?
Well, I'm a little split on being on being nostalgic as you were, or being just flat out about what I love about the character, and so I'd probably have to say hands down. I've got to go with the animated Joker and Mark Hamill.
Absolutely, which might be my choice as well.
It's sheer genius.
Well, he's got that voice. He's got that amazing voice and the amazing ability to project it in the demented, kind of crazy way that the Joker should sound.
Well, and yeah, the voice is one thing, okay? But the man, as it turns out, is an astonishing actor. When I was at Star Wars Celebration 6 this last summer in August out in Orlando, I had the absolute privilege of sitting in Mark Hamill's panel where, he just goes off and talks about all things Star Wars. But it actually turned out to be the Mark Hamill show where he's just talking about everything, that he's got going on. And the weird thing is, and I've told you guys about this, he dropped some subtle hints like he was going to be playing Luke Skywalker again. And he got up on stage and he was talking about the Joker, and he breaks off into this monologue from my favorite episode of the old Batman animated series, which was the Man Who Killed Batman. And the whole story of that episode is this nobody ends up killing Batman.
Yeah.
And Joker loses his crap. Totally loses it. And he goes off in this eulogy that is so twisted and so demented. I've never quite understood why it was in a cartoon that's aimed towards children. It is absolutely, it is a mind screw like you would not believe.
Okay.
And I saw him do this on stage in front of everybody, and he remembered it line for line. That guy will always be my favorite Joker because he just gets it. He just gets that character.
I like it.
Gotta totally agree on that one. I think that even goes hand in hand with how insanely well put together the 90s Batman animated series was.
Oh, my goodness, it was.
Everything from Bruce Timm's character designs to the way the city was laid out like an old 1920s noir
I
film.
used to love coming home after school watching that, watching
yeah.
Darkwing Duck. Remember that whole block of just badass cartoons after school?
Freakazoid. Oh, my God. I mean, that goes hand in hand with, I think Mark Hamill's Joker goes hand in hand with Kevin Conroy's Batman. I'm sorry, but I'll even say that as well. I think Conroy's Batman. I think that cartoon itself embodies so much of what Batman is in one.
We won't get into too much of that, but my favorite Batman's still Michael Keaton. That's just me.
Well, there you go. And I have you agreeing with me, and I was hoping I was setting you up for something else, but you can't ignore Heath Ledger's Joker. You can't.
Oh, of course not.
Well, here's the thing about that. He was always a more serious actor as it was, but he took that role so serious. And here's the other thing.
I think it killed him. I really believe that.
Well, the pills probably had something to do with it.
Well, no, but I think I literally believe that the character got so into his head that I think it affected a lot of the choices that he was making afterwards.
Sure.
And I think that if you're in the mind of a madman like that, yeah, I think I would start popping pills too.
It might have been Brokeback.
Oh.
We don't know. We don't know. But overall,
my wife keeps trying to get me to watch that
Don't
movie,
do it.
and I'm just not interested.
Don't do it.
I don't like cowboy films.
the bottom line with Heath Ledger is it is a classic performance that can't be measured against any other performance of any kind. It
So
has
much
nothing to
so
do
that
with just Joker.
Heath
Of
Ledger's-
any performance ever of a villain in a movie, you can't put that up. It's too hard.
Heath Ledger's
It
Joker,
was just amazing.
Heath Ledger's fingerprints are so much embedded in the Joker at this point that it will forever be on that character. So much so that you see the character now in comics or in animated series, and you still see Ledger's Joker.
Well, and everybody says that the last movie was really great, but oh, how awesome would it have been with having all the other villains to have him there? And they're absolutely right. It's all that was missing from the finale of
Dark Knight Rises.
Of Dark Knight. You know what I mean? That
Yeah.
and it's so true. And that's, I think, what we were all, everybody was robbed of, is another great performance that could have really capped off that movie even better than what it was. Okay.
Instead of Bane sounding like Sean Connery in a gas mask.
I love the film and all, but I feel like he should.
Tom Hardy's a badass.
He is.
He is.
But it's to the extent where I'm sitting there.
If I was going to watch Brokeback Mountain with somebody, it would be Tom Hardy. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, but it's to the extent that I'm watching Dark Knight Rises and I'm expecting him to wear a top hat and a monocle and say, "Good day, Batman."
So classic, though. All right, so off of our Batman rant, let's head into some more pressing news.
Oh, yeah.
We've talked about Die Hard. We've talked about our picks of the week.
Oh, yeah.
I know we got a ton of other things we want to talk about, but the only thing that keeps popping into my mind right now is all the Star Wars news.
Today's big news. And this
Awesome.
It's big, even though it's not big, because it's like we knew this was coming.
I think we saw this. I just think we're so giddy because it's like, Disney, not only did you make our childhoods kick ass, you're just bringing it back.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to let the biggest Star Wars fan in the room talk about this.
The news was broke this evening, and it was broke via two sources, which is Latino Review, which happens to be one
immensely credible
dude, one of the best. Yep. Easy. I mean, if there's a leak out there and Latino Review has broken it, it is 99.9% probably true. And what I actually read it over at Ain't It Cool News, but it looks like it's official. Han Solo, Harrison Ford, the man himself, will be back in Star Wars Episode VII.
Yes.
Now, and I've said this.
Yeah.
I've said this before.
It's all falling into place.
The word down the pipeline was that a year before Disney acquired Lucasfilm, Lucas sat down those three original actors and he said, "Be ready for it. It's happening." And like I just said a couple minutes ago, Mark Hamill was dropping these hints like he was going to be playing Luke Skywalker again. And I remember walking out of that panel with a couple of my friends going, "Did he just say what I think he just said?" And not only that, the other telltale sign is from 2011 to 2012, how much weight did Carrie Fisher lose?
I don't know, man, but Weight Watchers, like, you know,
Right?
I just thought it was all the crack.
It almost. I thought she was.
Crack.
I thought she was just so obsessed with what Jabba did to her, she was trying to look like him. I didn't know what was happening. Maybe she was
Oh,
pissed that they
no.
weren't going to do Drop Dead Fred 2. I don't know.
Right.
But one way or another, she was not getting right. Okay,
Right.
she was getting right with chilies and baby back ribs and everything else. But no, the news, everything points to Disney doing this the right way. And if Harrison Ford has said, first of all, he said when all this came about, if they talk to me, I'll listen. What that means is, show me the money.
Yes, sir.
And that's exactly Disney's like. You see this cash register?
It's
Unlimited. By the way, we're bringing Walt Disney back. He's frozen. Who knows, dude? At this point, who knows? But to know that they got Harrison Ford, that's the Pied Piper. Everybody else is coming.
Well, things are going to start moving fast right now. I mean, we have Harrison Ford on board. I would think it would be a week or two before we started hearing about both Mark Hamill and Carrie Fisher, and then I think things are just going to get rolling from there.
I don't know if he could do it, and I'm not meaning this in any disrespect, but how awesome would it be if somehow Billy D. Williams could bust out
Billy D.
Lando just one more time?
Unfortunately, Billy D's
he
looking a little rough. I love the guy.
He lived a hard life.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still doing conventions. I saw him mention it on Twitter. So I don't know if he would be able to, but who knows, man? Who knows?
But dude, the last 2 times I've seen him, he's been in a wheelchair.
That was just when they were carting him around. Other than that, he was standing up, talking to everybody fine. So
All I'm
he may
saying
be
is,
okay.
if I was a guest at a convention, I'd have them roll me around in a wheelchair too.
Yeah, I'd be
Well,
like,
good
hey,
point.
do me a favor. Wheelchair. Bedpan. Whatever I need.
I'm Professor X in it. Right now.
Where's my segue?
But yes, I really do think that this is going to be everything that we want it to be.
I hope so. My wife liked. She just burst my bubble when I told her about this,
yeah.
and she said, "Really, you're excited about this?" I said, "Absolutely." She goes, "Indiana Jones 4," and I was like, "Oh, why'd you have to do that?"
And all I have to say to that is, first of all, I'm guaranteeing Harrison Ford is going in there going, "Don't do this.
Right.
Don't do Han Solo like you did Indy."
Right.
And the
J.J.
whole thing,
Abrams ain't
J.J.
gonna do that.
Abrams isn't going to let that happen.
Yeah.
He knows that if he does F this up, this could be disastrous for him.
Well, it'll be the
And
end of
now-
his career. It'll be the end of Bad Robot.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
And now and here's the thing: they still haven't said who's going to be the producers, who's executive producer. There's still a shot that because J.J. Abrams and Spielberg got really close during Super 8. I've been reading a lot online about it, and if somehow that came about, I would lose my freaking mind. And if J.J. Abrams was like, "Yo, I want to do E.T. too," yeah, man, go ahead and do a sequel to E.T. I'm fine with it. At this point, I don't think he can do anything wrong. But I'm so excited, and Harrison Ford. F yes, dude. Are you
Yes.
kidding me?
Fantastic.
Han Solo may be old as shit, but he's going to be a badass. I guarantee it. So
Have you
it's
heard the
going to be
man?
fun.
Have you heard the man's voice? It sounds like a bag of rusty nails hitting a hardwood
Yeah,
floor.
get off my airplane. Yeah. Air Force One. Yeah. Get excited, people. It's coming,
Absolutely.
and it's
It's
going to be a lot of
happening.
fun.
And just shifting gears, still kind of staying with the Disney stuff,
Yeah.
but moving to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh,
very
news,
cool
yes.
stuff. Very cool. I mean, it was just a poster.
Iron Man fans.
But what was cool about this poster was that it was absolutely confirmed now that the Marvel Universe's Iron Patriot is actually James Rhodey Rhodes' War Machine. And so
Yes.
that's how
as
we
portrayed by the excellent Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle's
Yes.
amazing.
God, he's been in so many awesome movies.
Oh yeah,
I'm sorry, but Hotel Rwanda gets me every time.
I
dude.
agree.
That was a crazy movie. That was Nick Nolte was in that movie.
Yes,
Dude.
He was
Yes,
the
he
guard.
was.
He was
That's
Nick
right.
Nolte. That was like his comeback. Wait,
Yeah, screw Terrence Howard.
I don't think he was nominated for. Well, you know what? Nick Nolte might have been nominated for that in Best Supporting.
I don't remember offhand, but I did want to point out something very interesting. Was I actually got to watch Iron Man 2 this week. Look, I see that look on your face. I like Iron Man 2.
It was
You
good, but it could have been it just could have been so much better.
I think the reason that a lot of people don't like Iron Man 2 is because it visits that dark place in Tony Stark's
this one
life.
looks like it's going to get
This
even
one's
more
gonna get
dark.
crazy.
Right, but
Extremis, dude. Guy Pearce is going to be in this one. Come on now.
oh yeah. But I think that because it really does address the fact that Tony Stark becomes a massive alcoholic and all these other issues. But what I think is hilarious is the whole reason Terrence Howard wasn't in Iron Man 2 was because he wanted equal billing with Robert Downey Jr. And now Don Cheadle in Iron Man 3 does have equal billing with
Well,
Well, that's what happens
But
when you're a
I
white
think
dude,
I think here's the thing though with the whole Terrence